lifelong resident of Manassas Park. My parents moved here in 1970. They were looking for affordable housing. And I've watched the city grow in my time here. Some of the things I remember a lot about is that we used to have the 4th of July here at Costello Park, and you could walk as a kid. You'd leave your house, you'd walk over here and come to this stuff in the day, then walk back home or spend the whole entire day at the pool, which was right over there somewhere. There used to be a parade on the 4th of July that started at the Manassas Park Shopping Center and ended here in Costello Park. And the kids would decorate their bike and be in it. I always wanted to be in it, but I couldn't because my father was in the Lions Club. And the other thing I remember, we used to have a fall festival. Sometimes it used to be here. And then it used to be at Signal Hill Park, but way before Signal Hill Park was fixed up the way it is now. We used to have to go down a dirt road to get down to Signal Hill Park. Sometimes we would sit in a neighbor's backyard and watch the fireworks on the 4th of July because the trees weren't that big. Times I remember as a kid, there was the school band coming down our street on Cabell playing. And I remember the football games, the big thing after the football games, everybody went to Pizza Hut. And I do remember some really bad snowstorms. I remember one where it came up to the door, that we call the doorknob on the front door. Mm-hmm. And my dad would open the door like every hour, shovel a bit. And I remember the neighbors next door didn't do that. And the only way they could get out was out a window. I thought it was the side window. My mother said, no, it was the bathroom window. So the original homes of Manassas Park had the bathrooms on the back of it. And it had a window, and they had to open it up and let him crawl out and, I guess, get a shovel or whatever. The electoral board, I was there for 14 years, so I watched us go from using the old machines, that was like technology from the 1800s or something, and where we had to go to the touch screens. And I do remember one, it was before we split, so everybody was still at the high school at that point. The lines were so long that we almost had a riot. And so we had to go get the police department there and, kind of help us out. I think it was, and I worked at Parks and Rec from late 80s until college, so the mid 90s. And when I started working at Parks and Rec, it was not here. It was at the school, which now is a church over there right across from Lower Kent Park. And it was open not very often. That was where Riyadh was at, extended care, the preschool was. And it was just basically a gymnasium. That's all that we had. And then, I guess in 1990, we moved over here because I used to work at the pool, and they attached the check where you paid to go to the pool into the rec center. Before that, you had to go in the little building. So, and that place was always jam-packed full. So, yeah, those were my memories of Manassas Park. It was always when Santa came around. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, Santa came around the last Saturday before Christmas. Not like now. It was always the last Saturday before Christmas. And Manassas Park was the only one that did that. And you would just sit there and just wait for Santa to come. And then he would throw candy. And you just sit there with your pajamas on and just wait. I remember just always waiting. And even now, as an adult, I try to be out there when Santa comes around. This year I wasn't. I don't know what I was doing, but I wasn't around when Santa came around. And so I kind of missed it. But years past, I've sat out there with the dog, wearing a Christmas outfit, because why not? And I think one of my other favorite memories, by far, was probably a recent one. We held an event for Keep the Park Beautiful. We held an event last year at Brandy Station, and we had face painting. And unfortunately, because of the rain and everything, we kept postponing it, and it happened to be on Easter weekend. So the high school students who were going to help us weren't around. So I got conned into doing face painting. And anybody knows me knows that's not my forte. And so I let the kids, I did their face painting. They critiqued me very meanly, because that's what children do. And then they wanted to face paint me, and I let them. And the next thing I know, I had a whole face full of green paint. And one of the residents that lives there in Brandy Station came back later with some water and some cream and actually washed my face because she felt so bad for me. But that's what I remember. So, that's what I got.